Hey, welcome to the Board Game Batcave. This week we are talking about Formula D or Formula Day, depending on which version you bought. In the South here we say Formula D because
It's a D.
Because it's a D. But I understand some people on the internet still say Formula Day, and that's fine. That's the original game was called Formula Day. And we're going to
Do they speak French?
It was a French game. That's why.
Okay. It's printed in English, though, right?
This version is English. The original is in French.
How do you say formula in French?
Formula.
Did I say Formula Day?
Formula Day. Oui.
I'm not even going to attempt.
Hello to all our French friends out there.
Merci.
Bonjour.
Au revoir, maybe. after listening to this.
Yeah, after we've just lost, there goes the numbers down. Anyway, traditionally we rank the board games in 4 categories of components: theme, gameplay, and replayability. And we're going to do the same here today with Formula D. And we're going to start down this end with, let's introduce ourselves. We've got 2 new members of the Batcave here. I'm Chris.
I'm Clay.
Keith.
And this week you're stuck with us. So we're going to start with components, and we're going to start with Clay.
Components. I'm going to rate them about an 8.5. I like the components. Very simple, very straightforward, very to the point of the game, and based off of racing. Like it a lot.
Wow, he's to the point. Actually, components is, I think, one of the best parts of this game because you get the little switch box and you can do the gears. And I mean, they could have done anything for that. And then making each dice a different speed, but not just making a 30-sided dice and a 20-sided dice, but changing the numbers on the dice so you can only roll certain numbers. The color coding it to boot.
It eliminated a lot of the confusion.
I would give it a 10, only they made me mad with the whole, all the expansion tracks costing the same amount as like a real board game. Mm-hmm. So they're going at 9. 9, though, is still really good. And those are awesome little, I'll play with that thing even when I'm not playing the game.
The thing I like about the components is with the gearboxes, you can flip that around.
Yeah.
So if you want that complexity, it's there. If you want the simplicity, it's there. So like with younger players, like with my kids who are young teens, the simplicity's okay. Longer attention span, my son's older, we'll do the complexity there. So that is there. Everybody likes little cars, Maybe if the wheels could turn, it'd be even a little bit better. But
they're different. Each one of them.
Each car is different,
and they match up to the little pictures on the.
Yeah, that I like. I like that you can choose between the formula cars and street cars. Not a stock car guy, but who knows that maybe somewhere they could go with it. But I like that you have 2 choices of cars between the street racers and the Indy cars.
Yeah, even though it's called Formula D, that you can flip the map and play it right through the streets and get shot at while you're going through there.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
So I would give you probably. I would say an 8, probably 8, maybe 8.5.
That's pretty high on all 3 counts. Mm-hmm. So, all right, that gives you our summary on the components. So let's go to theme.
If you're a racing enthusiast, this game is right up your alley. If you're not, it's still a lot of fun. Me personally, I could not care about NASCAR and racing, but I enjoyed the game a lot. Again, going back to the components just makes it that much more exciting to play the game. I'm going to give it a solid 8. And I think it's because there's so much that can happen in the game. But that's another category.
Actually, theme is what I'd heard about this game a long time ago, and I did a big because racing games are neat, but I think it needs more than just cars racing. Because to me, I saw the game Formula D racing, not interested in, but when I saw it played, I couldn't believe how much fun that looked like. Mm-hmm. And when I played it, it came true. So the theme, I think, doesn't matter to this game as far as I think, yes, you have to have a racing game to make this game. But they could have made it NASCAR racing or, camel racing or whatever, turtle racing. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have had to be Formula D cars. As a matter
It'd
of
be
fact,
tough to roll that 30-sided dice on the turtle.
these turbocharged turtles.
Turbocharged turtle.
Well, the camel's spitting, it throws a new
Turtle on a
obstacle
hot
in there.
plate
Yeah.
or something.
Turtle on a
Well,
hot
they have
plate.
camel racing games out now, but that's beside the point. The theme for me did not make the game. I enjoyed the theme once I saw it played, but I could take it or leave it. So I'm going to say 7 on the theme for me. It's not why I play the game.
Who doesn't like watching people crash?
That is true.
I mean, that's it. When you see someone coming into the curve, mandated 2 stops, not to crash, and some fool bust out that purple dice to gear up, and you know what's going to happen, and they're thinking in their head, I'm probably not going to die on this. And they just, and they go through off to the side, and again you get the imagination because you got all the board. Back to components just a second. The board's really nice. I like the artwork of the board, and so you know what they're crashing into. You see the car flip.
See
you
the
imagine-
crowd.
right,
See the crowd
right.
also.
And you see your friend's face in the car as the flames, are probably going to start pouring out of it. So on the theme, that's I like the theme. I love the theme. So if you're going for the street race thing, or like the class of imagining you're in a James Bond movie and it's in
Monte Carlo?
Monte Carlo.
Monaco.
Yes. Monaco is what I'm trying to think of.
Monaco.
Yeah. So the theme's
Monte
really
Carlo's
nice.
the car you're in while you're in Monaco.
There's some, well, anyway.
Yeah.
I was thinking of gambling, James Bond.
Right. So I would I'd say probably at least an 8.
Okay, 8 is pretty high. And I was thinking, the theme. Well, he said something made me think. Now I've gone past it. So let's head on to the next category, which is gameplay.
Gameplay's very easy. I mean, once you play it once, it's really easy to the flow of the game. Just keeping a track of whoever's in front. That's the really tricky part, because if you get somebody who just goes straight to that highest die, they can take off across the board. And if they survive the corners, then, can throw it off a little bit. But overall, easy gameplay. I mean, 8, 9, easy. 8, 9.
8.9?
8.9, straight up 8, 9.
It's crazy. Crazy.
It must be Gen Con. Almost Gen Con week.
It must be. Gameplay to me is where this game shines and why I pull it out to show people, because like I said earlier, the dice, the different size dice with the different gears and the gearbox, and the way you can lose springs or your transmission, and you can lose tires, and you can sacrifice tires, and your engine can go out. In the advanced game, you can basically cause other people to lose certain parts. So the gameplay is what keeps me coming back, and I'm going to go all the way to 9.5 on that.
Sacrifice your brakes first.
Yeah. I like the part that you're going to frag your car. It's going to happen. And so you're managing that. I also like the drifting where you're riding up on somebody and then you break that pass out. That's a really cool thing. That's a nice one. When someone forgets about that, you know it, and you come up and then you just moved up that extra movement.
And the pit, just watching people pass the pit.
Yes.
I can make it. I can
And
go another round.
And that gamble of, yeah, I can make it. I
We're
have 3
gonna make
tires. I have 3 tires and no bumpers. The windshield's out.
Where do you
I think I'm okay.
What
You
was
are
your
the
score?
bug.
Oh, the score on the gameplay, I would go with 9.
Yeah, that's definitely where it shines. All right, and that leaves replayability for our last category.
Straight up 10. We played this once, and I had to play it again. And I think every time I've played this game, we've played it at least twice, just back to back, if not 3 times. It's a great game. Play it. I'd play it right now, but filming this.
And the game's up there.
Yeah, the game's up there. It's,
The replayability is definitely high because it seems like every time I show this game to some new players, that we have to play the basic version. And immediately I explain the advanced version, oh, well, let's play that because they want to see all the extras. But what's going to keep it from being a 10 for me is the length of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you can manage it by saying we're only going to all do one lap, but then you kind of lose the feel of a real
lose
race.
that management
And you don't have to
aspect
go
of
to the pit. You can just,
right.
beat your car all to goodness before you get to the pits because you're not going to have to stop.
next, you'll say you don't want to play Monopoly.
If Monopoly had all these gearboxes and the dice and the cars, I'd be all about it. I could race around them. And I do play the car when we play Monopoly. But I'm going to go from 10 back down to a 9.5 because the length really kills it for some people. You know what, I'm going to go to a 9 because I think it takes out a whole category of people that do not. I have certain people in my extended family who, if it's longer than 30 minutes, no, we want something else. I don't even want to look at it. So I'm going to go down to a 9.
I think if you're running the game and you manage, if you manage it instead of just kind of passively sitting there, and allow people to roll when they're ready, which I always get accused of being a time Nazi on games because I like to game, finish it, move on. Let's get a lot. We're here for a purpose.
You can't say Nazi.
That's more fun. We didn't say it. There's other things I can say besides that. But I'm always accused of that. When are we going to get started? We can get started. If you're okay with those little subtle hints, but hey, it's your time, or tell people to figure out, to count their spaces before they start so they're not wasting your time and everybody else's.
Don't move your car.
Right.
Don't move the car.
So if you're okay about doing that, then I'm going to say it's going to be easily a 9.5. If you're not good at managing people and kind of giving those little hints about, hey man, let's keep this rolling, in a really nice way, I would probably go 8.5 because the length of time, if they're not intense about the game.
So which one is it? You split the difference?
I'll split the difference and go
9.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I'll go 8.75.
The thing about the deal is, though, is that it's a huge player game. It's like a 10-player game.
Yeah.
And so that's when it comes out at my table most of the time.
I'll have to go 8 then. I forgot about being 10-player, yeah.
I almost always pull it out specifically because I have so many people at the table.
Right.
And so you don't have any other games that we can play. So, well, let's all play this game, and it's a good one. So you're gonna have 7 to 10 people playing the game, and that's gonna make it go that long, 2 hours, 3 hour.
And I think on the replayability, I told you why it's not 10. Let me tell you why it's an 8. Because you got the different maps. Well, you got the different maps, and you got the street racing versus IndyCar. You got that aspect. Now, if you'll drive IndyCars through downtown Chicago,
And you can
go
play
right ahead.
the different characters.
And they have their specific attributes.
Yeah, specific abilities.
Yeah.
So that does drive it up, but it's kind of weighted from both sides up because there's so much choice, but there's, you have to, it's a certain circumstance game. I'm not going to play 2-player on this game probably because it doesn't feel like a race with 2 cars. This is a crowd game, and it's a good crowd game, but you have to be prepared for long game. All right, so there you have our 4 scores each, and we're going to tally up those scores with the Board Game Back computer and put it right there. And if you think that sounds like a good game after the description and the score, then you need to run out and buy it because everyone needs to have that game, in my opinion.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time at the Batcave on Gen Con Madness Week, and we'll see you at Gen Con. So,
Bye-bye.
See you.